Good morning and welcome back to yet another video. And today we're doing the full review of the Royal Enfield Himalayan or something. And yeah, I am absolutely happy with this bike. So let me tell you why. So on the Royal Enfield, this is the newest edition, the liquid-cooled Royal Enfield, and it is a big improvement compared to the older version. I've ridden that also, and this one feels a lot more like a modern, solid bike. It's also really nice looking. It rides really good, but let's dive into the details. Of course, we had a first impressions review that I've uploaded previously. If you want, you can watch that also, but this will be a little bit more of a deep dive in what I think about this bike after owning it for a week and riding it almost every day to work, from work, doing a little bit of off-road and that kind of stuff. So first off, I think it's a really good bike. So let's first talk about the engine. It's a 450cc liquid-cooled engine. They call it the Sherpa engine, I think. And it is a really big improvement. It is pretty peppy. It has around, I think, 74 brake horsepower, so it's not a lot, but you have to remember it's 450cc. But it's more than adequate on the road. Of course, it will not pull your arms off or anything like that, but going to 100, 110, it's easy. You do have a little bit of vibration at 100 kilometers an hour, and that's a little bit annoying, but at 110, 105, 90, 80, there's no vibration. So maybe you can change that with a different handlebar or something like that. But if I want to give the engine a number, a grade, it will be 7 out of 10. So talking about the comfort is pretty good. The seat is a little bit hard, but I think it's better to have a hard seat than a really soft seat. But it is really dependable on the rider and who is riding and how heavy you are. I'm around 92 kilos, so I'm not the lightest person on earth. But for me, it's pretty comfortable. It's a really wide seat. What's also nice is that you can set it up high or low. So that's also really good, and of course, because it's a really low bike, I can easily flat foot. We also did an experiment with someone who is 1.63 centimeters, so pretty small. It's a girlfriend of a really good friend of mine, and we were thinking, okay, if we use a lower seat and maybe lower the suspension a little bit, it's also accessible for the smaller rider, so that's really nice. Of course, the wind protection is non-existent. It's a really small windscreen, but you do get a lot of clean air, so not a lot of buffeting, which is nice. But I can imagine if you get a bigger windscreen which fits the bike and fits your height, it's perfect. So that's also really nice. So rideability, we're taking a corner right now, and it is a really easy bike to ride. I think it's really good. You can really throw it around corners, even with the 21-inch front wheel, and which is also really good off-road. It has a 17-inch at the rear. That means that the bike is pretty flickable. So The brakes are bi-brake brakes, single disc on the front and of course one at the rear, and they're just adequate for the amount of power and weight of this bike, so no complaints there. You have multiple rider modes, performance, eco, performance without ABS, and eco. I only ridden in performance, and of course in the off-road spec, so with no ABS when I was riding off-road, but that was fine. I do notice that sometimes it gives a little bit of an error when changing ride modes, so that's not good. Talking about tech, it has full LED at the front, full LED at the rear. It has the really cool rear turn signals, which also works as a rear light, so that's also really good, and the BMW has that. There's a digital dash, which I really like. It has a black mode and a white mode or day mode. I like both. It has everything you want, so it has a speedometer. I'm not sure if it also has a range indicator. Let me check. Trip, fuel range. Yeah, so you can also see your fuel range, gear indicator. Of course, no quick shifter, no cruise control. But yeah, I don't mind that on a bike of this budget. You can also connect your phone, but I had some trouble with my phone, so I cannot show you that, but I will put a link down below how that looks. I think it's really nice. I've used the Tripper navigation on the old or the previous Royal Enfields, and I thought it was really nice, and it should be that this is even better than that. So yeah, thumbs up for that. So in terms of tech, yeah, I think it's a really good package considering the price. As I said, rideability is really good. The suspension, yeah, is absolutely fine, even with my weight and my height. It's yeah, there's no complaints there. I think even off-road the suspension doesn't bottom out really quickly, so I was quite surprised by it. Of course, I didn't do any jumps or anything like that, because this is a loaner, of course, but yeah, it was really nice. In terms of features and additions, I think it's really nice that you get standard crash bars on this bike. They really fit the look. They also have really nice bunks on the side to attach your bags on it. I really like the fact that it has a center stand that's standard. And yeah, I think that's about it in terms of extra. This one has, I think this one has the tube wheels, so not the tubeless. You can also have an option as the tubeless wheels for about 400 euros extra. Speaking about price, the price is really competitive. Around 7,400 euros. You get a whole lot of bike of it for it. You get a capable ADV bike, of course a little bit underpowered, but yeah, what you want for 4,700 euros. 74, yeah, 74. Yeah, it's a really good package. I think also the color options that you have, this one is the black and gold color option, which I personally really love. It's also a really good looking bike, so that's also one thing to take in mind. I will do a walk around afterwards. It's a little bit windy today, but hopefully you understand me correctly. So I will do a walk around afterwards, and I will do, of course, my final thoughts. Let's talk about the competition. So in this price category, you don't have a lot of competition. You have the CRF Rally from Honda. That one is has even less power, is more the car-like, but it has only 27 brake horsepower, and this one really blows that out of the dust. Oh. I almost got hit by a truck. So yeah, there is not a lot of competition in this price category, I think. If you want an ADV bike, of course. Naked bikes, of course, there is competition. But if you want a nice ADV bike, yeah, it's really good. So let's find a little spot to do a walk around and then give you my final thoughts on this bike. So I see a little dry spot over here. Let's do that. It's time for a really quick walk around. So I do think that the standard is the side stand is pretty low, but it squats a little bit. I really like the fact that you have really big foot pegs. It's a bit dirty because I've ridden off-road with it. Of course, I'll show you some pictures of that, riding off-road with this bike. I think it's pretty adequate. It's absolutely no problem at all. I think it's really functional for a bike like this, and I think you can almost get everywhere. As you can see, it has really good looks. I think it looks absolutely awesome. I really like the color scheme. It's sort of metallic with yellow. I really like the gold wheels. Who doesn't like gold wheels, right? I like the exhaust. It's pretty small, but it really fits the bike. Of course the catalyst is a big shame, but yeah, the rear, I really think it has a really nice rear, even without a tail tidy, but with the tail tidy of course it will be better. The turn signals are pretty big, but they're LED, so that's really nice. All black frame, nice Himalayan logo, really nice luggage rack as standard. Just really good. I'm liking this bike. So final thoughts, I would highly recommend to check this bike out. If you want a small ADV bike, which is also suitable for some smaller riders, but also for big riders like me. If you want a bike that can get you everywhere, looks the part, it really looks really awesome. I think this is one of the most beautiful ADV bikes right now in the market with the Desert X. It's light, it sounds okay, it has the tech and features that you need. Yeah, I can only highly recommend it. I have absolutely no issues with this bike except for the navigation and stuff that doesn't work properly, but I think that's a problem on my side. Of course the vibrations is a thing that you need to get used to, but maybe you can fix that with something. But yeah, I would highly recommend to do a test ride on this bike, because I personally really like it. For me, this is my most favorite bike under 9,000 euros that is for sale right now. Would I buy it myself? In my case not, because I tend to go a little bit higher in budget for my ADV bikes, but if you're on a budget and you want a really good bike, I think this is the one to check out. So with the end of this video, I would really want to thank Motomundo for this opportunity. Motomundo is the importer of Royal Enfield, and I really want to thank Royal Enfield for giving me this opportunity. I think yeah, I'm really grateful that I have this opportunity. And yeah, if you have any questions about this bike, I've ridden it a lot right now, so please leave a comment down below. If you like this video, please like, of course, and if you want to see more of this kind of content, please consider to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. On to the Himalayan.
If you want to see my newest video, tap here. If you want to see my recommended video for you, tap here. And if you want to subscribe, tap here. Thanks for watching. Tap here, or tap here.